That tweet that Trump sent out, or Truth Social, in the wake of this tragedy, these two poor young National Guardsmen, 120, 124, the 20-year-old now dead, the 24-year-old still fighting for his life. I don't know. It doesn't sound good, Mark. No. The perpetrator shot and expected to make it, shot by a third National Guardsman. But now Trump sends out this Truth Social, which is just, it is a barn burner. And I have to say, it may be, in the view of many Americans, the best thing he's done since becoming president for the second time. I'm going to read just a couple highlights, very long, but here are the highlights. He's talking about how he's going to get rid of these migrants and asylum seekers. And he says, a migrant earning 30 grand with a green card will get roughly 50 grand in yearly benefits for their family. As an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey as our wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing. And on we go. Then he says, I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover, terminate all of the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the U.S. or who's incapable of loving our country. I will end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country, denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. I don't know whether any of that or all of it is true, but I think most Republicans would say, shoot it into my veins. That's exactly what I voted for.
Yeah, and not just only Republicans, some independents, some Democrats. That's been Donald Trump's core message for a while, and very informed by the experience with Europe. Europe is dealing with all of these problems, in some ways more severe than what the United States has dealt with. Whatever laws might be broken by what the president's suggesting, whatever traditions, whatever norms, whatever downsides there are, the coalition that elected him president 2 out of 3 times is well on board with that philosophy about what America needs to do to be safe and prosperous. So there are tens of millions who don't like what the president wrote, but there are tens of millions who do. And again, no one should be surprised that that's his reaction to what occurred.
And we talked about the Gallup poll earlier, which had an overall not great approval number for Trump. But one of the areas in which he's still very much holding on is immigration. So you tell me whether this retort to that Truth Social by Mark Kelly, who's one of the so-called seditious six in connection with that Pete Hegseth story we covered earlier, but also has decided to weigh in on this whole thing with the National Guardsmen as well. Tell me whether this is effective, given those poll numbers. SOT 9.
This is kind of more of the same from this president. When he says things like third world countries, what is he really saying? I think what he's saying is he doesn't want brown people in our country.
Mark?
If he wants to get the squad's endorsement for president, it could be effective.
Is that what that is?
It's more than that. It's the belief of the Democratic Party about Donald Trump. They believe he's motivated by racism. It's what they think about Stephen Miller too. They think they're bigots who want America to be an all-white country, when that's not what they want. But Mark Kelly is enunciating the view of Blue America about President Trump's view on immigration.
This is just honestly, it's so tired. It's so worn. It doesn't work. It's like, okay, you can keep trying to, use those plays out of the old playbook, but you use them to try to get a woman elected president, and it failed. What would make you think it's going to work better now on an issue that Trump, notwithstanding his overall sagging numbers, still has huge support on? So, okay, I guess that's what they're going to do. There's more of that coming, you'll be shocked, from Jasmine Crockett on MS Now. Here's SOT 10.
And the idea that one person can get out of line and commit such a horrific crime as shooting two National Guardsmen that never, ever asked to be here. In fact, we know the young lady that lost her life, specifically, we're saying that this is a waste of time. But now you want to go against every single immigrant. That doesn't make sense. And it's frankly not who we are, because if that's the case, let's talk about the white supremacists and how many of them need to be kicked out of this country, because I can guarantee you I can track down more crimes that they've committed, because overall immigrants have a lower crime committal rate than white supremacists. But we don't want to talk about that in this country.
Overall, I love that. Overall, yes, because there are indeed still more Americans in America than there are immigrants, madam. But once again, playing the race card there, and a bunch of disinformation as she does it. Trump prioritizing deporting migrants instead of white supremacists. Your thoughts on her?
Well, I have to confess, in the last 3 weeks, Representative Crockett has become a guilty pleasure for me. I love watching her on TV and watching how her mind works as it connects to her mouth. I really do. It's just something mesmerizing about how she takes questions and spins them back with it's not word salad, it's like word pad thai. It's a lot of complexities. There's different flavors, textures all in there. So it's hard for me to analyze what she says, because I watch her like this. For those listening on the podcast version, I dropped my mouth in slack-jawed disbelief. I mean, it's incredible the things she says, and she's still thinking of running for statewide office, which I would look forward to.
And by the way, that reference she made to the National Guards woman who was killed, thinking it was pointless or a waste of time to be doing this in D.C. is way, way out of context, and shame on her for doing that to a newly fallen soldier. What the woman said, Sarah, was that it's pointless if they're not going to let us actually do law enforcement. She wanted to have the reins taken off of her and the other National Guardsmen. She wanted to do more law enforcement. She was upset over, these constant crackdowns on them, not to be able to do anything to actually help the city of D.C. So that's a Democrat problem, Jasmine Crockett. That's not a complaint that she was there in the first place. It was a request for people like you to try to take the reins off so that the National Guard can do what they're capable of doing. But who would expect media honesty from her? Ever read the label on a typical bag of chips? It's often a science experiment of seed oils, MSG, artificial dyes, and mystery ingredients. Masa is part of the growing movement to bring back real food. Masa chips contain just 3 ingredients: organic corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. Not only do these chips avoid the bad stuff, they also taste delicious, too. Snacking on Masa chips is nothing like eating regular chips. With Masa, you feel satisfied, light, and energetic with no crash and no bloat. And if you love Masa, then you will love Vandy Crisps. Vandy, which is Masa's sister company, makes the most delicious 3-ingredient potato chips, too. Ready to give Masa or Vandy a try? Use code MK for 25% off your first order at masachips.com or vandycrisps.com, or simply click the link in the video description or scan the QR code to claim this delicious offer. Don't feel like ordering online? Masa and Vandy are now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket. Stop by and pick a couple of bags up before they're all gone. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.